My name is Alexis Gauthier, and I own this beautiful restaurant called Gauthier Soho in central London, where we do the most amazing French gastronomy without animals.
My next dish is it's a dish with white asparagus.
When you design a plant-based menu, you want to express the flavor of the land and the flavor of the sea, together with the season. But the flavor of the sea is quite particular because we are all looking for it. When you are vegan, you still want to have the flavor of the sea in your mouth, but you don't want to eat people who live in the sea. So that's quite complicated.
And we love white asparagus, not because it tastes like asparagus, but also because it's a very interesting texture. We look into all different vegetables that we use along the year, and some are quite hard, some are easy to cook, some are super fast to cook, and some are a little bit more complicated. And the white asparagus is quite complicated because it's full of fibers, and so it's got the ability to really absorb the stock, for example, is going to be cooked in, or the stuffing that is going to be put in. So the idea was to use the white asparagus and to add a lot of seaweed to the asparagus, and to create a dish around that. And coming from south of France, I wanted to create a dish that is reminiscent to the classic bouillabaisse. So what we do is we treat the asparagus like if it was a beautiful white fish, perhaps, I don't know, a Dover sole or something like that. And then we stuff the white asparagus with a combination of seaweed, capers and spinach. And then we slowly cook it. And then we serve it with a bouillabaisse kind of sauce. And this is something we are very proud of at the restaurant, is we have managed to create some sauce where the flavor of the sea is so prominent, it tastes more of the sea than if we had used a fish, for example. And so in this instance, it's the bouillabaisse, which is seaweed based, different kind of seaweeds, with plenty of vegetables, with plenty of anise seeds. It's flambé with pastis, and then there is a creaminess thanks to the lentils. The lentils we add to the sauce. So it's a serious dish. This is a serious dish. It's quite complicated, but when we put in front of our customers, they can't believe how much of the sea they are eating when they are eating this dish. So the first thing to do is to prepare, obviously, the white asparagus, and the white asparagus is this one are very nice and juicy. And then we remove a little bit of the skin of the asparagus.
So the white asparagus dish is kind of a complicated, I would say, dish in terms of structure. It's a kind of dish that come perhaps toward the end of the meal, more as a main course, because we use the white asparagus as a way to pronounce the flavor of the sea.
So once I've given the asparagus this shape, we boil them in hot water with salt, and then we end up with this, like the kind of white asparagus you will have in a classical French restaurant. And so what we do is, with asparagus, we are very slowly going to open them up like this. And we've got 3 perfectly fine asparagus. Then we have mixed some of the seaweed we have with capers, spinach, lemon juice, and a little bit of parsley in this mix.
So we use a lot of the seaweed we use, and sometimes we use seawater to cook our vegetables, just to enhance that. So this dish is really concentration of the sea flavor in a Provençal way, because I come from south of France, and I wanted to recreate the flavor of the bouillabaisse. And the bouillabaisse is the saffron, is the flavor of the sea, is the pastis, is the anise seed. All of that through the white asparagus, who can really hold that, and the white asparagus is kind of a sponge in terms of texture.
We use red and green seaweed. So here we have a beautiful here the white asparagus is gonna absorb this very delicate but deep flavor of the seaweed and of the capers, and it's gonna be amazing how it can actually intensify the flavor of the sea just around one asparagus. It's quite crazy. So this is going to be our garnish that's going to go with the white asparagus. So again, the courgette is a symbol of the spring. So we use the two elements of the courgette flowers. This flower, well, we remove this, and we use it for decoration of the dish, and the stem, which we use it to go with the asparagus. So I just remove a little bit of the part here, which is the best. And I'm just going to cook it just like the asparagus because it's a green spring vegetables. Again, olive oil, hot, which is just going to come and toss around the skin of the courgette without giving any coloration. I'm going to concentrate the flavor and stabilize the color. And I'm going to deglaze with my bouillon, cover it, and it's going to be cooked. It's going to be cooked very quickly. And in this one, because obviously the dish is around the flavor of Marseille, I add a little bit of pastis or Pernod, just a few dash. And then we cover. So this delicious bouillabaisse-based sauce is going to come at the bottom of the plate. And we control the thickness of the sauce thanks to the lentils we use in this dish. And here we have the flavor of the sea behind the beautiful white asparagus, flavored with some really depth of flavor of seaweed and the courgette cooked with the pastis. And this is Marseille, this is south of France, and it's all plant-based.
And we can tell this story to our customers too. When we serve the dish, we can say where the inspiration comes from, and we can say why we use the white asparagus, and we can say that this is what we want them to experience. So I think for a restaurateur or a chef, it really works within the framework of a gastronomic restaurant. And this is why our customers come to us, and this is why they pay quite a lot of money for this kind of experience. And no animals, plant as a star, well, it's as good as far as they are concerned, and it really reflects the chef inspiration and what the chef wants to express through the dishes, and that's what makes the experience in a gastronomic restaurant really special.